And then I also received my
I'm so
degree.
sorry. Actually, I recorded little 1 minute late. Could you begin again if you don't mind, please? Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yes, my name is Enolia Foti. I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in Queens, New York. And my journey is a very fascinating and a very interesting one. I received my mathematics degree from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, and I received my master's degree in business there at Regis University. So, graduating in the top 1% of my class, I pursued my career and I designed computer networks for a living for about 20 plus years for a Fortune 500 company. So, with that, part of what I excel in came forward, which was to be able to um, mentor people within their careers, business wise and personal development. So, having worked in a Fortune 500 company for that period of time, it's interesting that my career took a bit of a change. So I met my first indigenous elder grandmother from the Ojibwe Nation, native Canadian.
Mm,
It was grandmother Isabel Mawasaki. And she started and initiated my ability to look at life in a completely different way, such that compassionate leadership took place, such that standing in circle and learning the indigenous way of life
mhm, mhm,
that actually just really helped me to put in perspective where my corporate dynamics didn't work, the indigenous did.
mhm,
Where I needed to seek peace in my heart. I needed to in really receive the spiritual journey that I was on. And that transition between corporate and this indigenous way of life was an unbelievable one. So, Grandmother Isabel led to a series of grandmothers and grandfathers, and what I'm saying are elders from various different tribes across the world. So,
mhm,
I've studied with the Lakota, I've studied with the Hopi, I've studied with the Apache, I've studied with the Waitaha of New Zealand, I've studied with the Mapuche in Chile, I've studied with the Toltec and the Mayan in Mexico, and I've studied with the Sangomas in South Africa. I've been initiated by the Ovumbundu people here in Angola. So my journey has been a fascinating one. And what that leads and balances me to be is to take the life, business, energetic coaching, and I say energetics because of the gifts that the indigenous have given me in terms of information and understanding and working with energy, as well as the fact that I'm just a social entrepreneur. So, what I bring to the table is how to celebrate self, how to reflect inwardly and master self, achieve, succeed, and empower oneself through
mhm.
self mastery, but from an indigenous way.
Very, very wonderful, wonderful. This topic is so much dear to my heart. I have been following teachings of John C. Maxwell, and
Okay.
he has a book called 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And it is about self development, self improvement, personal development. And it gives about 15 different aspects in which you need to reflect yourself and see where you can uh, and you are bringing a completely new methodology to achieve the same. I am really
Yes, I am.
curious about it actually, how that works. So that's very nice. So could you tell us a little bit more about the importance of the self mastery and impact on our lives or businesses?
So, the importance of self development and self mastery is just the importance of a foundation. If you don't create a strong foundation,
mm,
then, what do you get when you build your house on sand? It's going to sink. There are aspects within us that we have to make solid. We have to be able to believe in ourselves. We have to be able to trust ourselves. We need to be able to understand the impact that we have as we engage in life and navigate through this thing called life. So, to not have a solid foundation to build upon, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're corporate, it doesn't matter what
mm,
you aspire to be. You
mm,
need to do it on a solid foundation. And then self mastery, it's not about just the fact that I can control oneself, where it's not about the control, none whatsoever. What it's about is to be able to look in the mirror and to love what you see, and to be able to trust yourself, to be able to make that decision and stand in your truth, even if you're the only one going uphill and everything else seems to be going downhill and flowing the other direction. It's to be able to understand and have a relationship with that which is divine within ourselves, so true that you are unwavering.
mm,
And it doesn't matter in the eyes of judgment, it doesn't matter in the eyes of um, limited belief systems, that you would be able to stand in your truth and represent that which is important to you
mm, mm.
and know that it is the right thing.
Okay. Okay. That's very, very, very insightful indeed. Thank you. So, what are some of the biggest challenges or fears people have in embarking on self mastery?
Well, you just said it, fear, judgment,
Mm,
okay? Fear in that the inability to achieve one success and what they've dictated or what they've listed as success, okay? To be able to honor knowing that your heart or your soul has been calling for something different, and you feel pinned to the corner because you're like, okay, financially, how can I achieve this? I have to do what I'm doing now, but I long to do something else, and I don't know how to transition, and I don't trust myself to transition.
mm,
Okay, judgment in that, oh, if I do this, my family will have an opinion about me, and I can't cope with that. Or if I do this, my spouse or my partner might leave me.
mm,
They may not agree with the fact that I want to do this, and then to the point where that fear kicks in,
mm,
and the reaction is more palpable than that of what you want to accomplish.
mm,
So there's plenty of things that prevent us from not honoring what
mhm.
it is that we want to do.
That's so true, so true. You know, when I have talked to few people who really say that, I'm not getting ahead in my professional career. I deal with people who are working professionals, and they say I'm not
Hmm.
really getting, and I'm not being considered for advancement. And when you start really looking at a little further, lot begins with the self mastery. They lack some, they have some self limiting beliefs, or they may have some doubts, self doubts, imposter syndrome. Those things are really preventing them. And I can completely relate to
Absolutely.
what you're saying. Yeah, very.
And then what we also need to remember is that when we are up for that promotion, or when we are up for that job, and we haven't focused on what is it within us that needs to change. So many of us, we wear what we do. We wear what we do.
Mm,
And we define ourselves by what we do, and we really need to acknowledge the fact that we are energy beings housed in a physical body, and that what we do is exactly that, what we do. So, if at the core of your being you're not a nice person, or you're tentative at best in what you do, and then you put on the different hats and you expect that, well, because I'm wearing this hat, they'll see me a different way. Titles are nothing but words.
mm,
Titles are words. So, what is it that has to shift within us? But what happens is that we need to take off those layers. We need to take off. If a title were a hat and we took off all of the hats that we were wearing,
mm,
and you looked at pure you are this energy being. So the question is, when you are looking at pure you, do you like what you see? And if you don't, that's what has to shift.
yeah.
Because any hat that we put on, the being that we are is going to vibrate through those roles. It's going to vibrate through those titles. And when we engage, we impart and create relationship based on the being that we are and not the role that we play.
I am so much with you, so much. Like I feel like I have myself. I'm a living example of that. I wore so many different hats while in my youth and my early part of the career and middle of the life. I was parent. I was corporate employee. I was son. All those roles really consumed me. I didn't even think about myself. Now I reflect back, and now I'm in this phase of life where I can reflect back and say, wait a minute, where did I spend time on myself? I've always been wanted to go to Hawaii. That has been in my thoughts for 35 years now. And I need to do that. I got to do something for myself too. Right? So I completely relate to that. Can you tell me one example of how, with someone you dealt with this problem, and how you went about impacting?
So, the first thing that we do is we take on the opportunity of understanding self. And so, the first tool that is given to my clients is to notice, not to change everything, not to um, uh, 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 eliminate something, okay? Because those things don't work.
Mm, mm,
We have to notice. We have to observe how we behave in a relationship, in work,
mm,
in our personal affairs, with ourselves.
mm,
Do we interact and have a relationship with self? Because many of us embark and embrace so much noise and distraction that we really don't have a relationship with self.
mm,
It's like taking stock and taking inventory. It
mm,
starts with self. You have to understand
mm,
what it is, what your makeup is, where your trauma is, what's impacted your life, and how it's impacted your life. And just notice. Because if you can notice, then you notice your habitual patterns.
mm, mm,
You notice what triggers you. You notice what what you're afraid of.
mm.
And it starts there. And then if we can take stock and understand and notice, then we can make a different decision. Then we can take in consideration, I know my fear. My fear is this, and this. And
Mhm,
I get triggered in this way,
mm,
and this brings my fear to the forefront. And
mm,
I notice that every time my fear is in the forefront, I withdraw, I panic, I
mm,
go into anxiety. I
mm,
have this type of reaction. That's where it starts. It's the noticing, it's the understanding of the makeup by which we all have before we can step into what needs to heal, what needs to change, why it needs to change,
mm, mm,
and to be the observer, to observe
mm,
ourselves
mm.
and how we interact and how we work and how we engage and how we create. So between the notice and the observance,
Mm.
that's where we begin.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So this is like almost music to my ears as to what you're saying. This is like I can see the great need for this in today's world. Today's world of distraction, stress, conflict, confrontation. My God, this I think this is what we need. We need to be stronger internally, and that's what you're helping. That's pretty very,
Yes.
very impressive. So how long does the it take? One should expect to, get over to start, get some handle on self mastery, as you're talking about.
So I have a self-mastery class, and a person who wants to pace themselves
Hmm.
can engage in my master class and basically work with my videos. I have 29 to 30 videos that encapsulate that which I've already started talking about, and 7 tools that you already possess. So you're not going to be going outside of yourself. You're not going to be going and reaching for something that, okay, I have to go do this thing in order to feel better. No, everything is right here within. So I would say on average, it's a 6 to 7 week class,
Okay.
that well, self-paced class, or you can be coached by myself,
Mhm.
and I take coachees in 3 month slots and 6 month slots.
Okay.
Because any work that is really going to get done, you're not going to do it in 1 or 2 sessions. It
No.
just isn't realistic.
Yeah, that's not.
So, and it depends on the person and the individual and the feeling of self discipline that they may have.
Mhm.
And if you want a guide, then I am your guide, but you will be doing the work. And then if you want more of a class and something hands on, self pace, where you just have access to ask a question or two, then you can go that route also.
Wonderful. That's great. So one thing I was curious about is, I would think that this topic that you have, the value you're adding, permeates across all sections of society, all geographies. I don't think it's limited to anything. Is there any specific um, profile or geography do you focus on, or is it really open internationally, for example? Or
It's open internationally, yes, it is. But I'm really past the seeker. I'm my target audience
Mhm.
basically is the person who's already sought, and they know that they want to go deeper.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so it's not like I'm not the person to work with if you're just looking at curiosity.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm the person you work with when you're like, I know what I have, I know I need to go deeper, I'm ready to go deeper, I'm ready to shift my life,
Okay. Irrespective of geography and,
irrespective of geography, because the beautiful thing about it is that because I've engaged with so many indigenous teachers, my work
mm,
and my approach is within respect. It doesn't matter what anyone's religion is, it doesn't matter what anyone's belief system is,
mm, mm,
because we are working within.
mm.
And so, with that said, yes, the way that I work with people is to celebrate self. You are going to learn to celebrate self and go as deep as you need to in order to do so.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So, what are some of the mistakes people make before getting into self mastery? What have you seen?
Mm.
Mm,
The mistakes that people made are usually, mm, it varies, okay? So when you want to fix something within yourself and you go to somebody and you go, fix me, that doesn't work.
mm,
That's the number one mistake. Fix me. And not only am I expecting you to fix me, and are you supposed to fix me, but I want instant gratification. If I don't see a result in a week or two, you didn't do your job, you know? And the beautiful thing about any coach, not just myself, but any coach, is that we are not here to fix you.
mm,
We are not here to fix you. We are here to introduce concepts and to help you navigate through something you need to do for yourself.
mm, mm, mm,
And the beauty about that is that you have everything you need. You have everything that you need for this to take place. And there'll be coaches like myself or others that you've, I'm sure, had on your roll that will help you with a process by which you can work through in order to do so. But that's
Very.
an excellent question.
Are there some resource? How do people go about finding more about this topic? And is there any resource you recommend? Resource, books, or any sites or videos? Or
So I absolutely do. And of course, I'm going to say, go to who you're drawn to. So, for example, I have a book, How I Found My Voice, How I Found My Sovereign Voice with My Grandmother Elder
mm,
by Enolia. And in that story, you have the opportunity to see how I found myself and how I applied that which I'm teaching. And if that resonates with you, then, and you're drawn to that, then by all means, that's who you're supposed to be working with. So you need to feel the vibration in your heart. You need to feel that, oh, I got pricklies here. When she said that, that is the confirmation for you that the person that you are working with, the person that you are thinking about or approaching or wanting to work with is the right person to work with. We can book read all that we want. There's so many books,
yeah,
and you can get lost in books.
yeah.
I would say that have the conversation versus reading a book.
Right.
Have the conversation, engage with someone that is of interest to you, and
Mhm.
take the time to just research and look and have that conversation.
Mhm.
And if that person resonates with you, then you know it's the right person.
Great. And how do people access the book you're talking, your book? Is it on Amazon? Is it available on Amazon or?
Yes, it is. My book is available on Amazon.com.
Hmm.
And if you just hold for a second, I'll get you the cover.
Yes, yes.
So I hold it here. This is Enolia, Finding My Sovereign Voice with My Grandmother Elder.
Wow.
And not only is it this book, but it also comes with a journal called Discover Your Sovereign Self.
Mhm.
And what I do is I summarize each chapter in here of the lessons I learned, the hard life lessons that I learned. And
Mhm.
then what I do is I give you the opportunity by asking you questions in the journal of how this might relate or show up in your life.
Okay.
So, again, another tool, right? Where you
Yeah,
can learn
that's
from my
awesome.
story
Yeah.
and my life lessons, and
That
then actually look at your own life.
that
So,
will that will really help us think about our own lives. That's so nice. That's very good.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And you can find that in Amazon under Enolia.
Got it. Got it. I hope audience have taken note of it. This is such, this is right here. You are the source of knowledge sitting here who has spent such a great book. We are really fortunate.
Yes.
I heard that you have got some gift for us, for our audience. Could you explain what the gift is and how to get it?
Yes, for the audience, if you email me at info@enolia.live, info@enolia, Enolia.live, Live, I will give you access to my program called Know Thyself. And it is a 21-day program that will start on October 1st. And you have the opportunity to reflect and get to know yourself by questions that will be sent to you each day, every day, for 21 days.
Mm.
And I will hold this open for 24 hours. So if I receive a email that basically says, know thyself in the title, I know that you saw it on this program.
Okay, great.
And just let me know that you're ready to receive your gift. And it starts October 1st.
Very good. That's so nice of you. It was fantastic. Awesome to talk to you in this forum. I really appreciate you came and gave us so much time. And just for the to remind audience that you can upgrade to VIP ticket with just $47. You get access to all the recordings like this, such a valuable recordings, and of all the speakers that are talking today, which is more than 150 speakers. I will put the link to the VIP upgrade in the chat window. And again, it's great to have you here, Nolia, and I wish you all the best and hope to meet you in some future events. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to leave our audience with one last
Sure.
thought.
Mhm.
Dream a beautiful dream, or you will be dreamt. And what that means is that if you do not hold a vision for yourself by which your life can become a walk to, what you will find is that you will be dreamt, which means that you will be fulfilling your life based on what everybody else perceives you to do and to be. So dream a beautiful dream, or you will be dreamt.
Beautiful. That's great. That's awesome. Awesome. That reminds me of Ikigai, book Ikigai, that has a last rule is find your Ikigai, find your passion, the reason, the purpose of your life that you came here for. And if you don't know, find one, get to know what it is. Thank you so much again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we are just wrapped up our session with Enolia. Now we will be going to our next session. Our next speaker is going to be Paige Snyder, and we will just take about 1 minute break here. So give time for people to settle in. Welcome, Paige, and I'll pin you right now.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Enolia, if you can still hear me, I'm so grateful I caught the last little bit of your talk here. Like in just minutes, I've been inspired by you, and I can't wait to see this whole session.
Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just thought that I will give about, because we are just about reaching 1:45, we will give 1 minute for people to settle in.
Okay.
But I'm so glad to have you here. How has your day been? The day is good so far?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I'm super excited to be here. I think you know my friend Carla Barazzi. She connected me with all of this. And she highly recommended signing up with you. So I'm excited to chat with you a little bit more. But it's been a great day. I love speaking on anything health related, and I used to do a lot of that in previous jobs, but COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get to do it again today and hopefully inspire people to get some good sleep.
Yes, COVID has really turned our life upside down. My son just went on a visit, travel to Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago, and he comes back with COVID.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he was quarantined for 2 weeks, and now he's all right. It is like unpredictable right now.
Yeah, I actually just got back from Spain. Maybe I don't even know what date it is. I'm still so jet lagged, which is funny given the the topic I'm touching on today. Luckily, my partner and I came back without it. We've tested several times.